The gavel cracked like a gunshot off the old brick walls of room 2402 in the Richard J. Daley Center. Even at 9 in the morning, the heat was already thick, the kind of late July Chicago heat that made the lawyers sweat through their suits and the court reporters chew ice. Judge Gloria Ramirez didn't waste time. People versus Vance on the petition for termination of guardianship and restoration of parental rights. Let's go. I've got a full calendar and the air conditioning in here is barely keeping up. Marie Kowalski, 69 years old, born and raised on 87th and Mackinac, sat straight-backed in the front row. Her steel gray hair was pulled into the same neat bun she'd worn since 1968. Her hands, scarred from decades of mill dust and raising 3 grandkids, rested on a thick manila envelope in her lap. Across the aisle sat her daughter, Teresa Marie Vance, now Teresa Marie Delgado after a quickie marriage in Florida, dressed like she was going to brunch in Naples instead of fighting for her children in a Cook County courtroom. Beside her, a tan lawyer named Bradford Kincaid kept fanning himself with a legal pad. Teresa hadn't seen her kids in 13 years. She wanted them back now, all 3 of them, because their father, her ex-husband, Tommy Vance, had died in the ArcelorMittal blast furnace accident in 2019, and the union death benefit was $842,000, and the check could only be cut to the legal guardian of record, Marie Kowalski, the same woman who had fed, clothed, cried over, and buried her own husband for those same 3 kids, when Teresa disappeared south on I-55 with a duffel bag and a man named Ray who sold timeshares. Judge Ramirez looked over her glasses. Mrs. Kowalski, you've been legal guardian since 2012, is that correct? Yes, Your Honor. And you, Mrs. Delgado, filed this petition 61 days ago, claiming fitness to resume parenting. Is that also correct? Teresa stood. Yes, ma'am. The judge nodded toward the gallery. Then let's hear from the children. Oldest first, Nicholas Vance. Nick, 21 now, 6'3", shoulders wide from pouring concrete every summer to pay DePaul tuition, walked to the witness stand like he was walking into the mill itself. His boots still carried red dust from the Indiana docks. The clerk swore him in. Nick, Judge Ramirez said, softer now. You're an adult. You don't have to be here, but you asked to speak. Go ahead. Nick looked straight at his mother. I remember the day you left, he began, voice low but steady like a man used to shouting over rebar saws. I was 8. You told me you were going to the store for milk. You kissed my forehead, said, be good for Grandma, then you got in Ray's Camaro and never came back. Teresa opened her mouth, but the judge lifted one finger. Silence. I remember Grandma Marie working doubles at the hospital cafeteria to keep the lights on. I remember her selling her wedding ring to buy me cleats so I could play football at Mount Carmel. I remember her holding my sister when she got her first period because nobody else was there. I remember every single thing, Mom. He turned to the judge. I go by Kowalski now. Legally changed it last year because that's the name that raised me, not the one that ran. Bradford Kincaid shot up. Objection, relevance. My client has been clean and sober for overold. Sit down, counselor. The boy's 21. He gets to talk. Nick stepped down. His younger sister, Lily, 17, took his place. She wore the St. Ignatius uniform skirt and the same stubborn Polish chin as her grandmother. The judge said gently, Lily, you don't have to do this.
I want to. Her voice didn't shake. Mom, Teresa, sent me one birthday card in 13 years. It came 2 years ago. Inside was a $20 bill and a note that said, buy yourself something pretty. I used it to help pay for Grandma's oxygen tank when her COPD got bad. Teresa started crying, loud, theatrical sobs. Half the gallery rolled their eyes. The youngest, Joey, 15, never even looked at his mother when he took the stand. He just stared at Grandma Marie the whole time. I don't remember you at all, he told Teresa. You're a stranger. Grandma's the only mom I've ever had. When the kids were done, the courtroom felt like church after a funeral. Quiet, heavy, final. Judge Ramirez exhaled through her nose. Mrs. Kowalski, anything you'd like to add before I rule? Marie stood slowly. Arthritis made her knees pop like gunfire. Yes, Judge. I brought something. She opened the manila envelope. The first thing she pulled out was a photograph. 3 little kids on a sagging south side porch. Nick, Lily, and baby Joey in a diaper. All dirty, all hungry looking. The date stamp read October 14, 2011. I took this the night Teresa dropped them off. She told me she'd be back in a week. That was 13 years ago. Next came a stack of Western Union receipts. Every one made out to Ray Delgado in Las Vegas, Tampa, Biloxi. Total sent $18,340. Every penny from Marie's Social Security, after her husband Stan died of lung cancer from 40 years breathing mill dust. Teresa's lawyer jumped up again. Objection! Those are private financial. Sit down. The judge's voice could have frozen Lake Michigan. Marie wasn't finished. She pulled out a single sheet of notebook paper, creased and yellowed. This here, she said, holding it up, is the letter Teresa left on my kitchen table the one time she came back, 6 months after she left. Read it yourself, Judge. The bailiff carried it up. Judge Ramirez read aloud. Dear Mom, tell the kids I died. It's easier. I can't be a mom. Ray says 3 kids are too much baggage. I'm starting over. Don't look for me. Teresa. The gallery actually gasped. Somebody in the back row whispered, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Teresa was shaking her head, mascara rivers down her cheeks. I was sick. I was on pills. That shouldn't count. Marie's voice cut clean through the room. You were sober enough to cash my checks in Florida, Teresa Ann. Sober enough to marry Ray in a courthouse. Sober enough to have another baby with him down there and post pictures on Facebook bragging about your real family. She pulled the final document from the envelope, a death benefit claim form from Local 65 ironworkers, stamped Received. The beneficiary box read, Legal guardian Marie Kowalski for minor children Nicholas, Lillian, and Joseph Vance. Marie looked at her daughter, really looked at her for the first time in 13 years. I never wanted your money, Teresa. I just wanted you to be a mother. But you made your choice, and I made mine. She turned to the judge. I'm asking this court to terminate Teresa's parental rights permanently, not out of hate, out of love for these kids. They've been through enough. Judge Ramirez didn't even take a recess. Petition for restoration of parental rights is denied with prejudice. Parental rights of Teresa Marie Delgado are terminated effective immediately. Mrs. Marie Kowalski is confirmed as permanent legal guardian until the youngest reaches majority. Furthermore, any future filings by Mrs. Delgado on this matter will be considered harassment and dealt with accordingly. She banged the gavel so hard, the sound bounced off the marble like a starting pistol. All rise. Teresa screamed. Her lawyer tried to drag her out before the sheriff's deputies did it for him. Marie never moved. She just opened her arms as Nick, Lily, and Joey came to her. The 4 of them stood there in the aisle, wrapped tight while the courtroom emptied around them. Outside, on Dearborn Street, the July sun was brutal. Reporters shouted questions. Marie ignored them all. Nick carried her purse. Lily held the manila envelope like it was the Stanley Cup. Joey just held his grandma's hand. They walked south toward the L, past the Picasso sculpture, past the hot dog stands and the tourists. Nobody said much until they reached the platform at Washington Wabash. Lily broke the silence. Baba, she said, using the old Polish word for grandma. What happens to the money? Marie looked out over the river, glittering like broken glass.
It goes into the college funds I already set up, and whatever's left when Joey turns 18, we decide together. Maybe fix up the house. Maybe help some other kids on the block whose mamas can't be there." Nick nodded. "And Teresa?" Marie sighed, the sound of a lifetime of steel dust and heartbreak. "She made her bed, Kahani. Now she sleeps in it." The Red Line train roared in. They climbed aboard, 4 Southsiders in a city that never gave anything easy. As the train lurched north toward 87th Street, Joey rested his head on Marie's shoulder. "Baba, thanks for keeping us," he whispered. Marie kissed the top of his curly head. "Always, little one. Always." And somewhere southbound, Teresa Delgado sat crying in the back of a Greyhound, heading back to Florida with nothing but a fake tan, a maxed-out credit card, and the echo of a gavel that finally, after 13 long years, said, "Enough." In Chicago, steel don't bend. And love, real love, don't break.